I think it started. Oh, I think it started. Like in my hammer voice. Let's get it started. So here I go, y'all. Before I go ahead and bring my guest on here, I want people to understand that I believe that our children is our future. Is our future. Look at this. I'm gonna show y'all something. Our children is our future. You know what I'm saying? Give me a minute, because I gotta do something real quick. I'm just starting right here. Right here. Right here. Here we go. I'm about to introduce, man. I'm about to bring right here. She's right here, y'all. She's right here, right here. Y'all see her at the bottom.
Hello.
Her name is Asia, and believe it or not, y'all just started coming on my channel right now. Go ahead and subscribe to her right now, ASAP. ASAP. Go ahead.
Please and thank you.
Speak on it with Asia. Look at this. Speak on it with Asia. Look at this. She got some great content. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. Look at this. You would not regret it. Look at this. Speak on it. She got some great. Look, she got a twin sister over here, man. Y'all in for a treat, y'all.
One of these days, I'm going to introduce you to her, Mo. You're going to like her.
Hey, put her on the panel. Shoot. Set it up next week. Put her on the panel.
She's like me, but she's less polite. So she cusses way more.
Oh, I want that. Hold on. Stop screen sharing this.
She cusses way more than me. I'm going to introduce you to her.
I want that. You come on my channel. So you ain't cussing. You all trying to be professional.
I try to be, but then I get fired up and then it comes out. But then I apologize afterwards.
Yeah. Shout out to my brother Leroy. He in there just being a conspiracy theorist. Love you, bro.
Hi, Leroy. I'm gonna like this right now. Might as well. That's me.
Might well like it. Let me give everybody a shout out before I interview Asia. Let me give John a shout out. Shout out to John Ahmad. We got Gina Patriot. We got and that's it. That's the only one I see because they shout out. What's up, Leonard? I see you again.
Hi, Leonard. Glad you joined in again.
We got John Meriden now. What's up, John? Hey, John, nigga, your cuz Leroy's in the chat room, John. I'll let your cuz over there. Leroy's in the chat room, fella. Look at me. I'm all like, but look, you know what? I'm all distracted. I'm supposed to be interviewing you.
It's cool. We know each other already. It's cool with me.
Yeah, we know each other. I'm not all like, all professional. You already know I ain't, because we talk outside the videos.
Yes, we do. It's a fun, like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. It's like a warm-up. We put our warm suit. We go in there and talk shit.
Yes, we do. See, but that's the thing, right? We don't just talk shit. We point out the problems and then at least come up with solutions. It's up to Congress to whether or not they're going to implement them, right?
Right. Yo, Asia is a young future right here. She's young. Same age as my daughter is. It's like, man, you have a breath of fresh air to this movement right here. And
thank you.
There's so much stuff that's been going on lately. All the impeachment, it's distracting. It's a lot of, it's a distraction because there's a lot of stuff that's going on. Women coming up missing in Chicago. I know some stuff that's going on, and I want to talk about this.
Gosh, first of all, I cut on the impeachment hearings for the patients. They all wanted to watch this shit from the beginning of the week.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about the impeachment hearings. I try not to add ratings to that bullshit, even on Fox News, because I know they got to show it because they're a news organization. So they too have to show the impeachment hearing. I wouldn't even turn that BS on that channel, but patient after patient kept requesting it.
Yeah.
Turn it on. Not one patient knows what the impeachment hearing is about. Not one patient actually understands the impeachment process. And not one of them realize that what they're trying to impeach Trump for, Biden just did a few years ago. So the fact is, you can't say one person is guilty of a crime after one person has already done it already. But do they get that? No. Do they also don't understand that if this happens in the House, the precedent that they'll be setting for every courtroom throughout the country. And these are Black people who believe that the system is unfair.
Yeah.
Imagine if they can do this to a rich white man,
right?
Then imagine what they will do to a poor Black person in the hood. What do you think is going to happen if they can just arrest the motherfucker and convict him for anything that they think they are guilty of?
Come on, Asia.
but it's ignorance. And to them, ignorance is bliss. And every single day, they kept saying, Trump is the Antichrist. You know, he treats his wife terribly, and she only stays for the money. They say that he doesn't love his daughters, only his sons, that his parents should burn in hell just for having him. This is what the patients were saying. But because some of them suffer from mental illness, I can't very well say, listen, I'm a Trump supporter. Could you watch those insults? Because you don't know how they're going to react. Some of them have extreme cases of mental health, and some, you know, it's the easy, you know, they forget their memory, you know, they have memory issues every so often. But those severe cases, you don't know how they're going to react. So I got to sit there and listen to their hogwash while watching the bullshit hearings. But all the while, I'm yelling at the television, Biden did the same shit. Where's the hearings on him? I hate these hearings. They're ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
And you're right, they are a distraction because we just found out that the CEO of, what the hell is the name of that Ukrainian company? I can't remember it, but to find out that the CEO was just arrested and charged with corruption. Mm-hmm. Right? There's a slush fund with Hunter Biden's name on it.
Yeah.
And there is a Obama aide. I think he was press secretary or a White House official that worked for Obama, whose hands were all over that money. And it's also connected to the DNC. The slush fund in Hunter Biden's name is connected to the DNC. No one knows any of that. Right. No one knows any of that, though. They don't know none of that. All they know is Trump's the Antichrist and he has to go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Do they read that word? Do they know what Antichrist is? Do they know Antichrist is a spirit? If you go look at the Antichrist as a spirit, you got Hillary Clinton, you got the Obama. It's a spirit.
Exactly. It's not Trump. Like, look what he inspires. I've had conversations with liberals or people who say that they're conservative, but really they're not. They're basically like Sonny Hostin. They claim they're conservative because they're pro-life. I'm like, no, you can be liberal and be pro-life. You don't have, that doesn't make you automatically conservative. But there are people who say that, especially in my family, and they think that Trump is the Antichrist because he inspires violence. I'm like, no. First of all, let's get one thing clear. People need to hold themselves accountable. The individual is accountable for their own actions. That's number one. Number two, who's out there inciting violence? Because he's not the one saying go out there and cause chaos. Go out there and surround Trump supporters, go out there and attack conservatives. He's not the one saying that. So who's the one inspiring the violence? And that's the one you can accuse of being the Antichrist. That's what you can do. Don't say it's him because people are lashing out because he won. That's childlike behavior. They're throwing tantrums. That doesn't make him the Antichrist. All he did was win an election.
Yeah, that's all he did is win an election. I mean, I keep telling people, if Trump committed a crime, please let me know. I promise you, I won't support him.
Right.
I made a vow. I put my hands up. I said, if you show me one thing that he's racist, or he's trying to destroy us, or he committed a crime, or he killed people, or that he murdered people, that he hates black people, show me one of them, and I promise you, I will not support that man again.
Because let's call a spade, right? I'm not even going to front. With the Ukrainian call and the quid pro quo, I think I said it to you on the last time I was on your show. I said I believed that he was guilty of the quid pro quo because he's a businessman. When you're doing business, you know, if I'm going to loan you this money to start you up, or I'm going to loan you this money to, you know, do this project, I want something in return. That's normal in business. So I assume, you know, damn, Trump, you brought something from your business to the White House that, you know, that's not a tactic that you can use in foreign policy. But then you find out that Biden did it. So I'm like, oh, no, he's fine. If Biden did it, then he can definitely do it. But then Trump is a criminal for doing the same shit that Biden did. And at least with Trump, there's no slush fund. I don't understand here. Why are we going through these hearings?
I know.
He's a criminal for everything. He's a racist. He's a bigot. Yeah. He's a homophobe. Come on. You can't give him.
He never said, I hate gays.
For real. And
he never said that.
He never said, you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I don't have an issue with, you know, homosexuals. I don't. But
no, I don't.
You have to respect the fact that there are people who don't agree with it. They tolerate it, right? Because I don't agree with it. I tolerate it. If you're a good person, then what do I care who you're fucking? I don't care.
Right.
It doesn't matter. You're a good person. We're friends. Your sexuality is irrelevant to me right now. It doesn't matter. You're a good person. But don't come into the conversation and try to, fill it with a bunch of sexual stuff, because now I don't want to hear that. That's me tolerating your sexuality. It's got nothing to do with me. The problem is you got all these people trying to pump it into society. And when the president says that they're doing that, oh, he's a homophobe. No, he's stating a fact. You're pumping LGBT agenda throughout culture, and I'm wrong for saying that that's what you're doing. He's a homophobe for saying that. That makes no sense to me, because I say that all the time. Now, apparently, I'm a homophobe because I don't believe in transgenderism.
Yeah.
It's crazy. When we had a transgender client, man, you had to see my face. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you're lucky I only know you by your female name.
Yeah. Hold on. Jonathan said he wants to come on. It's a one-on-one interview, but I said that you can come on in the last 5 minutes and get.
Give him 10. You can have 10 minutes. You can come on 10.
You come on last 10 minutes. I'll put you on last 10 minutes. It's an hour show, so you will come here the last 10 minutes. So everybody, Jonathan will be on the last 10 minutes.
Oh, awesome. Is he like Wise?
No, this is the other guy. He's like I like Wise.
Is he more like, what's the word? Like vicious? Like he cusses at you if you don't agree?
No. He's very relaxed. He's very intellectual.
I like those liberals. I like those liberals because
he'll talk with you. He'll have a talk with you. So the last thing will be on.
That's good, because if I can learn from you, then I want to soak in as much knowledge as I can. I am only 24, so I'm not going to sit here and say that I know it all, that I don't make mistakes, that sometimes I don't get that I don't get things wrong, because I do. I'm human, and I have no problem admitting to it. I'm not a pompous ass like most of these people in the mainstream media. I can admit when I'm wrong. Speaking of, did you see that Project Veritas video with Amy Robach?
No. What's up?
Mo, you didn't see the Project Veritas with Amy Robach?
No. Should I share that?
Yeah, yes, you should, because this is the ABC journalist who said that they had the story on Jeffrey Epstein, and then buried it in 2015, and then Project Veritas.
No, I didn't see that. I have not. Look, I've been kind of out.
Man, Mo, they had the story on Jeffrey Epstein since 2015. They had the story.
Yeah.
They had it. And someone at ABC, a leaker, sent the video to Project Veritas for everyone to see. And now Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy wants to have hearings on ABC. I'm so excited because I feel like I made this happen by putting it out there into the universe. I swear. You got to watch that. It's crazy.
I'm definitely going to, Yeah. So I told John he come in the last 10 minutes, and it's like Jerry's final thoughts. We can come in. He gonna come in and talk. Y'all can have a quick debate for 10 minutes, and y'all can bring it.
All right, that's gonna be cool. I'm very respectful.
John, Adrian gonna bring it to you for 10 minutes. Yeah. Have your stuff written down. Have it ready.
Yeah, I'm very respectful. So if I don't know it, teach me something. If I disagree, I'll tell you why I disagree, and then explain your position as I will mine. I have no problem doing that. I don't do that, oh, fuck you, you're wrong, you're a liar. I don't do that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. Just own it that when I'm right, the same way I'll own it when I'm wrong, Yeah. If he can do that, then we're cool, because I'm only 24. I still got a lot to learn about policy and politics.
Right, you're young.
I'm young. That's why I'm not running for office right now, because if I did that, then I'll be a conservative version of AOC, ignorant but passionate.
Asia?
I'll be a conservative AOC, ignorant but passionate.
Yes!
I got to learn some more shit. Because she's... Woo. What happened to the squad, though? I feel like after Ilhan's scandal with the marriage thing, they just kind of fell off the map. They're definitely not winning their reelection. I swear. They better not, but I don't think they will. Do you think they will?
Hold on. He's texting me. What you say about my bad?
The squad. Do you think the squad's going to win their reelection? I don't think so.
Well, hell no.
After Ilhan's scandal, they all kind of fell off the map. Even the one, what's her name? The one that said we're going to impeach the mother effer, her. What's her name?
Oh, you talking about is it Maxine?
No, what's her name?
No, someone said impeach the motherfucker. Someone said you know who that is.
Talib. I can't remember her first name. Her name is Talib to me, but Talib, AOC, Ilhan Omar, and the other one, the squad. I don't think they're winning anything. They got in there trying to impeach Trump, and now they got nothing because Ilhan's scandal, woo, that shit smells terrible for them, man. It hit the fan hard body for them. I don't think they're winning their re-election at all. I think they're done. Which would be great, because personally, if we're going to be hosting impeachment hearings on people, I think Ilhan should have been the first person. If you ask me, if we're just throwing that hearing around for anybody without evidence, then Ilhan Omar should definitely be the one, especially because you have evidence to suggest that she's anti-American, she's pro-Sharia law, and everything that she stands for is completely antithetical to our Constitution. Yeah, that bitch needs to go. No. She's not a bitch. I try my hardest to keep myself from calling.
No. Keep it real. That bitch needs to go. Keep it real. That bitch needs to go.
She needs to go. I'm not even going to lie. Ilhan Omar has been one of my biggest issues that I've been very public about, I think, since I became conservative. Because I'm Christian. I've always been a Christian. And I never had issues with Muslims. I still don't have issue with Muslims. I have issues with radical Islamic Muslims. And she seems like one of them. The difference is she's not shooting you or hitting you with her car. She's trying to undo our Constitution, which, if you ask me, is 10 times more dangerous than any gun that they could pull.
Yes. Look, taking away our guns, taking away our voice.
Right?
Everything that we fought hard for.
Exactly. Especially as Black Americans. Like, do not take our guns away. I mean, if you want to see a rise in racial crimes or hate crimes, take Black America's guns away and watch how the crimes go up. Mm-hmm. You know, if they keep saying how there's so much racial hatred in this country and how there's a lot of white on Black crime and no one's going to jail for it. Yet take Black America's guns away. If you really believe that hate crimes are already on the rise, you're going to take away the thing that helps Black America defend itself from hateful people. Really? Come on. Their arguments don't make sense. They don't hold up. In any case, regarding whether it's the Second Amendment, the First Amendment, whether they keep saying about the injustice as far as the criminal justice system is concerned. And don't get me wrong, there are issues there. And I think that there's a lot we can do to fix that. But you can't say that, oh no, it's because they're taking our rights. You're letting them, though. You're voting for the people who want to take your right to defend yourself away, whether it be your speech or your firearm. And they don't realize that because they're so liberal. And you, like, in the hood, especially, I mean, you want to run around and you're going to be ignorant and you're going to say all the stupid shit and you're going to be violent and you're going to get yourself locked up. But your bad behavior is what's doing it for the most part. It's not like you just walk down the street and they just know. For the most part, most of these people in this area are being, violent. They're popping guns off. A few days ago, someone was popping guns and firecrackers off so that way they couldn't tell the difference between a gun and fireworks. But I'm like, but now you're that stupid. Like, the police station is less than they are like a 2-minute response time. You call the cops, you hear gunshots, they're here at this building in under 2 minutes. You're really going to pop a gun off and you're that close? Like, be smart here. But they don't care. They just act irrational. They don't make logical decisions. No one wants to work. Everyone wants low income. And you want to realize why things are much more difficult. You make it difficult for yourself because you don't want to do the right thing for yourself at all. And that brings me back to my day at work, because that's the patients that I deal with. You have a bunch of people who come in there and they don't want to work. They don't want to put their best foot forward. When we give them opportunity, they don't want to take it. They feel like they're victims, that they are.
My bad.
Yeah, no problem. They feel like they're owed all of these things. And you're not. At some point, you have to hold yourself accountable and do the right thing. If you don't want to do that, then there's nothing we can do for you. But you want to vote for the people who want to take your rights away.
My bad, y'all. My sister got something cooking and the smoke alarm went off.
Oh, no problem. What's she cooking though?
What you burn, sis?
It's something else up in Randy's room. I can't understand. Is that burning? It's baked potatoes.
Oh, it's baked potatoes. Okay. She baked some baked potatoes and it went up on the smoke alarm went on.
Oh man, are you ready for Thanksgiving? Lord knows I am.
Yes.
Yeah, I've prepared to bring on 10 pounds. I've lost 10 pounds so I can gain it for Thanksgiving.
So please, look, I don't know if we talked about this. You eat chitlins, right?
I used to. As I got older, the taste bud just wasn't liking it.
Think about it. Not knocking everybody eat chitlins, man, but guess what? When Negroes didn't have nothing to eat back in the slavery days, right? Let's give them the scrap. They didn't even give up. We wasn't worthy enough of the pig feast and all that. They came with the chitlins. We could have been eating chitlins every day back then.
See, now you have a whole bunch of people that say, nah, we took it and we turned it into a whole meal.
No, fuck that whole meal.
We evolved. You don't need to eat chitlins anymore. We can have the whole pig down, like up into the snout and everything. You don't need the place where shit passes through. Like you don't need that. I can't. The smell is terrible. I won't clean them. One time my mother
put hot sauce on the killer goddamn smell.
I can't. My mother made them one time and burnt the bottom of the pot, Mo. I threw the whole pot in the garbage.
Yes.
Like after, she puts it in her bowl, but she burnt the bottom of the pot. Nah, man, that whole shit went in the garbage. She found it a day later and said, "This is my mother's pot. What are you doing? You have to clean this."
Yeah. Eating chitlins is slavery. People that love chitlins have a little slave mentality. No offense, sis. I know you like your chitlins. I'm talking shit.
Oh, shit.
I'm talking shit about your chitlins. Okay.
You eat chitlins? Who cooks? She cooks them too?
Yeah, she cooks those. I hate them things.
Girl, you're brolic. I can't. That whole
I don't like it. I never liked it. I never will.
Nah, I can't. I tried them. I think I only ate them because, you eat what your parents eat. And my mom ate them. But as I got older, my taste bud just was not having it. My stomach couldn't take it. I remember being in the kitchen and just the smell of it made my niece throw up her freaking strawberry soda. Just the smell of it.
Throw up, look, with strawberry soda.
Right? Because the smell, like her stomach was fine, but the smell just was so bad. She just, right there in the kitchen.
The chitlins.
We digress, right?
Hey, when I was growing up, my mom called them shitlins. She's like, "You want some shitlins?" Look, that's the only time I was allowed to curse around my mother if I said shitlins.
Yo, did you see what the hell was the name of that movie? Medea Boo, the first one?
Yeah.
They're okay, but what was the little short old lady who kept saying it's shitty in here?
Yeah, shitty.
Yeah. That's what that reminds me of, because she was saying chilly as in it's cold. Yeah. Right? Like how you're saying shitlins. Yeah. That's what that reminds me of.
It is shitlin. Look, I hate shitlin so much. Mom will make a Thanksgiving plate. You know what I'm saying? Not to get off topic, y'all, but
I hear you. Thanksgiving's coming up, so we're talking about food, folks.
Yeah, we're talking about food right now. She like, yeah. I said, "Why you put chitlins on my plate?" "Oh, I know you, and I forgot you like chitlins." So she scooped that motherfucker off my plate and put it back in. I said, "Hold on, give me a new plate. I don't want that smell around my greens and my cornbread around my smoked turkey neck." You dig what I'm saying?
No. Wait,
I don't want that.
Make chitlins for Thanksgiving? I thought that was a New Year's thing.
No, it was New Year's. Man, niggas would cook chitlins on Christmas, Thanksgiving, and New Year's.
I can't. It's about being in my own place. I don't have to worry about the chitlin smell.
God. Mom told me right this here. I'm gonna give you a whooping. You know what you did? You cut the teacher out. Yeah. Do you want she said, "Do you want to get a whooping or you want to clean the chitlins?" No, I swear on my life, this is a living witness. I said, "I'll take the whooping." Guess what? She gave me the whooping.
Oh man!
I refused to clean the chitlins. I took the whooping. The whooping got over in 2 minutes. I don't do that. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. I couldn't sit down on my ass, but you know what? I ain't finna throw up. No. Working for hours cleaning them chitlins.
No. I did that one time. I can't clean them. I don't like them. They're no offense to whoever eats them. You like what you like.
Offense. Ain't no offense. Offense. Offense.
I'm like, you like what you like. You like chitlins. I don't. Some women, right? You have women who like the P word. I don't.
The boss is back there. I'm talking shit to her. She does chitlins.
Like I can't. Listen, people like what they like. You have some people who like chitlins. Some women like the P word. I don't, and that's where it's at.
No, but if you say you like, I love it. No, she like it. I don't love it.
I'm sorry. Sorry, we just going in. Let's stop. Let's change the subject before she get mad at you, bro.
Yeah, you get triggered. So you get triggered. You trigger yourself.
Easily triggered.
Easy triggered. She's easy triggered. It's sort of her
shit about somebody's food though. That like I swear, if you talk shit about somebody's food, I feel like they'll get way worse than any triggered liberal.
Oh yeah. Hey, I told my auntie one time, the one who passed away years ago. I said, "How you like it's pretty good?" She looked at me, pretty good.
Right.
Pretty good to people's food.
Don't reach for the salt for grandma's stew.
Yeah. Don't go to steak sauce for her steak she made. Oh, hell. She would stab you with a fork if you try to reach for steak sauce.
Oh man. See, nah, like my mother gets me. I'm not allowed to put freaking salt on anything. She'll let me do hot sauce because it would be very hypocritical if she wouldn't, because she puts hot sauce on everything. But salt, what you're saying that my food isn't seasoned enough? That's my mother for you.
Right.
You get the death stare from her. Like, you know, the look you get before you get your ass whipped by your mom? Yes, that look right there. That's what I get if I reach for the salt. Oh man.
Where was we? Now we talking about food. We totally got off subject, off topic.
We did. I know. We were thinking about Thanksgiving. We're way too ahead.
No, we only human, y'all. We don't have to be political all the time.
Right. We have lives. We have other things that we're interested in. It's not all about politics.
It's not.
I hate politics. I'm more about policy. I hate the political gamesmanship. I hate it. I understand it, but I hate it at the same time. I'm like, listen, I'm not in this to be political. You know, I'm not. And I say that in my videos all the time. I want to be an agent for change. I'm not here to play this political gamesmanship. Like when I run for office, I understand that sometimes I'm going to have to deal with the political bullshit, but I would prefer not to. And people better recognize I'm not your traditional person that's going to sit there quietly and act as if that you didn't just proposition me for political gamesmanship. Mm-hmm. When I run and win my office, you try to proposition me with political gamesmanship, I will tell people, you know, nah, this person tried to hit me off with 5Gs if I got a vote for them to do this, when really this is what I want done. Mm-hmm. I'm not snitching to tell the rest of the American public that. I don't play these political bullshit games. And I think that's the issue that we're seeing with a lot of the people who are running. I mean, you have a lot of new blood now, which is good. You're seeing a lot more conservatives running, which is great, because before there weren't enough conservative candidates running. I mean, you had Republicans, but you didn't have enough conservatives, right? And now that we have more of those, you might start seeing a little bit more policy happening. Yeah. But until that election happens, not even until that election, until the new blood is actually sworn into office, for the next year and a half, it's just politics, politics, politics. I created a whole new segment called Policy, Not Politics. Everyone keeps saying,
I like that. I like
right?
That.
A lot of people keep saying I should change it, but I'm like, what the fuck for? It's straight to the point. I prefer to talk policy, not politics. For example, what's his name? Andrew Yang. He's not running for president anymore. Mm-hmm. But his idea of people owning their data, I fucking love that idea. I really do. The problem is if you have socialist candidates, they'll find a way where only the government controls it. And if you're dealing with Republicans and conservatives, they don't want to do it at all because you're dealing with censorship from most of these mainstream media companies who are basically data mining in a sense. But I personally feel if the user, the individual owns their own data, right, then you can't censor me. That's like me having money in the bank and the bank saying, oh, you can't have access to your funds because you're Republican. Motherfucker, I worked for that shit. You're not the government. You didn't tax it. You can't do that. It's my property. So I feel like if there was some regulation on that, that is something that could be great. Personally, I think it could do two things. It can lift people out of poverty. I mean, homeless people have iPhones.
Thank you.
They have iPhones. They have Facebook accounts.
I never had an iPhone.
Right?
About job.
Right. So many of them have iPhones and all these smartphones. Obama phones. Like so many of these motherfuckers in Newark, like when I go walk to work, so many of them have the same fucking Obama phone. Each one of them have a Facebook account. Each one of them have an Instagram account. And several of the homeless people that we service have smartphones and their own social media. So imagine if they own their data and their data is worth currency, is worth money, which we know it is because data passed oil last year. If they owned their own data, imagine they wouldn't be coming to programs or trying to be in low income. These people can afford it now that they own their own gold mine. Because how is it that I'm giving you all of my data?
I like the way she thinks. I like the way she thinks.
I think it's a great idea. The problem is you have leftists trying to make it a government thing, and you have conservatives who don't want to do it because they're worried of the censorship stuff. I'm like, nah, this is why the partisan bullshit and the political bullshit has to go, because if and when I win my office, I want to sit down and have a conversation with Andrew Yang. I don't want to sit down with Facebook and YouTube and all these tech companies because personally, it's like with the pharmaceutical companies. Right. Why are you bringing them to the table to talk regulation? Don't do that. You bring someone in who understands the industry, and then whoever has the idea is who talks with them. So that way you can figure out how to make it work and accessible where it's fair game. YouTube has an idea of how that works to a degree because they are censoring, but you know, you hit a certain amount of subscribers, you hit a certain amount of watched hours, you would have accumulated enough data on your specific page where you start making money from YouTube, right?
Yep.
You need to figure that out with all the other social media platforms. It's my data that you're using. Why am I not making money? You're trading it to someone else and you're making like $2 for every data point that I'm giving you. So why don't I own it? These are ideas that need to be had. These are the things that I feel need to be said. But the partisan bullshit that's not making it work, you know? And I'm not gonna lie. I get why it's scary. I do. I get it. But it's the new age of thinking. It's the things that we have to do. It can get freaking millennials out of college debt. Imagine that. We would have dealt with crisis that millennials are dealing with. That was the issue that we were talking about with Likewise at the end, right? I was telling him that we're choosing superficial majors and we're going in there and we're coming out broke. But here's the deal. If millennials who put out the most data, right? I mean, we're on Instagram, a whole bunch of them are becoming, Instagram, what's the word? Not certified, but, they're getting their blue checks on Twitter. Their status on social media is climbing. Imagine if they were making money from doing that. They would not be in debt anymore, like at all. This is something that needs to be discussed, but no one wants to have that conversation for two reasons. Number one, leftists want to make it government, and Republicans don't want to because you're dealing with censorship. I'm like, you got to make it work, but there's no way to make this work if no one wants to have a conversation.
These people, right? They ain't having a conversation. All they're doing is talking out their ass. They're not coming. All they come with the same old propaganda, but they're not coming with no conversations.
Exactly. I would have the conversation with Andrew Yang. I mean, I'm not the cliche politician, That's what has me inspired by Donald Trump, right? He's not a cliche. He's not a politician.
Right.
He's a businessman.
He's intellectual. Trump is very intellectual.
Exactly. And that's when I consider myself a career student. I'm intellectual. I love to learn, but I also feel like that there are things that can be done to solve problems, and figuring out a way to own our own data and making money off of that. I mean, that's the way to go, if you ask me. It can lift people out of poverty, and it can deal with this financial burden that universities have, put on us millennials. You could deal with that. Why not have your students accumulate data points while on your campus, so whatever money they accumulate from it, bada bing, bada boom, cuts their debt in half because they would have accumulated a data currency while attending your university. But no one's thinking like that. No one wants to because they're too scared if you're Republican or you're wanting to make it government owned. So why do it in the first place if the government's just going to take control over it? these are the problems, and no one wants to have a conversation about that policy. They only want to talk politics. Hence the title of that segment: policy, not politics.
Thank you. I love that. We got to do a segment about that. I want to follow up on that. Man, I'm telling you.
Yeah, because if you have ideas, like this is why I tell people, like I come on here to try out my ideas. Like if you like them, okay, that's one to stick with when I run for office. You know, I have ideas to lift people up out of poverty, not like these phonies who say they want to help their communities, but then build luxury ass buildings and then don't want to put low income. Did you hear about Shaq? He built this building. Like I worked in Newark, you know, and I work for a non-for-profit.
Okay.
Right. Where our job
Shaq
is to.
O'Neal. You said Shaq O'Neal, right?
Huh?
You said Shaq. Hold on, Shrek. Hold on.
Shaq, the basketball player. Shaq.
That's what I said. Shaq O'Neal. I'm sure.
Yeah. So you know he's
O'Neal,
from Newark. Right. So he built this big ass luxury high rise, right? And when everyone heard that he was building it, everyone was so excited at my company because we have connections throughout the whole state, especially in the city of Newark. Okay. We have like first dibs on low income and moderate housing for our patients, which is a phenomenal thing. But then they announced that Shaq's building is opening today. And I just found out he's not doing a damn thing for the citizens of Newark. At all. The only people who can afford it are rich white people. But I'm like, this is the shit right here. Y'all complain about how the white man is doing this, but your own did this to you. He came to Newark, built a big ass luxury building, and said, I only want rich people living here. He did nothing for the citizens of Newark. Nothing at all. Not one low income or moderate housing, not one place to transition people from, you know, it being low income and then gradually, you know, raising their rent, right. Which would be fine. But because it's like, listen, you're in low income now, but if you start making more money, the rent will go up slowly, not too much. But once you're making a really good living wage, then yeah, now you're able to afford what the actual rent is. Nah, man, the whole building, the rent is like $1,500 for a freaking studio. I'm like, nah. You're not doing this for the citizens of Newark. Yeah, like you're not doing this for the citizens of Newark. The only people who are going to be living in this building are people who work in New York. That's it. But you're from Newark. You are the same man whose mother couldn't afford to buy you sneakers for your big ass feet. You know, your mother was on welfare. Your mother was in low income housing. Your mother had to rely on those benefits so she can put your ass through school. She can get your ass the shoes and the resources and the education you needed. However, your ass is a billionaire. You build the fucking building in Newark where you were once from and said, fuck the community of Newark. I just want to make money. This motherfucker, I'm like, Shaq, man, I'm so disappointed in you. At least with Queen Latifah, when she built her building in Newark, she wanted to make 115 of her apartments low income, right? The state of New Jersey said no to her, that she could not do that. And then only 17 apartments could be low income. What the fuck? It's her building. She put the money up. Why are you telling someone who built this specifically for low income that she can't have how many ever low income apartments she wants? The state said no. The city said no. This is, you know, Mayor Baraka, the black man mayor that nobody in Newark fucking likes. He's such an elitist, but you're going to tell another elitist who came to the city that she grew up in, that she wants to help, that she can't help them? Motherfucker, are you for real? Oh man, I'm over Shaq and I'm over this mayor of Newark. A lot of people keep saying, start with Congress and then go to the mayorship. I'm not even gonna lie. I think I want to just go to the mayorship.
Thank you.
I don't want to play that gamesmanship in Congress. I don't. I need to get right. I need 264 other people to agree with me to get something done.
Thank you. At the end of the day, Asia, this political stuff is a fucking game.
It is.
At the end of the day, it's a game. They want to play both sides. They play one party against another party. Nigga, please.
Exactly. You put us against one another. I mean, if like the Republican and Democrat Party, they're a lot like black on black crime, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you say that you want to do better, but you don't do better, and you kill each other off. That's what y'all are doing. And every time someone tells you that your shit stink, you don't listen. Neither of them do. There are a lot of like those issues with the partisan battles that you're seeing between the Republican and Democrats, and it's the same issue with black on black crimes. I'm telling you that you don't have to do this anymore, that you can just do better for yourself, that you can move the community forward, but you just got to listen. You don't listen, so you destroy the community. With parties, you don't listen, you destroy an entire country.
Hold on, I'm waiting for the Bernie supporter to get on here. I sent the link. You know what? The last 10 minutes, you can come on last 15 minutes. Come on, Bernie supporter, get up here. Feel the burn. Come up here. I sent you the link. Feel the burn. I want everybody to feel the burn. Come on. He's come up here and rumble with you.
That's fine. I don't have a pen and paper now, so if you gotta teach me something, I'll go back and watch the video to
Yeah. He's ready to get on here. Come on, Bernie supporter, feel the burn. Let's get up, Bernie supporter, get on here. The link I sent.
Oh, he's a Bernie supporter.
Yeah, he's a Bernie supporter.
We might find some things to agree on. I mean, if he's okay, if he agrees with the data, owning our own data thing, then we could talk about that. I don't understand why any capitalist really.
Capitalism wins every.
Is he right? I'm like, if you own your business, then you're not a socialist. You know, if you're building a business, then you're not a socialist. You know, if you believe in God and family, you're definitely not a socialist because you don't believe that government has control over your life.
Yeah.
You know, those are the things that you're seeing with Bernie supporters the most. Like, and that's how you get them for the most part. I'm like, do you believe in God and family? Yes. Well, do you believe that the government should have control over your life? No. Well, then why are you a Bernie supporter? That's all he's saying. Replace God with government and make the government officials your new family. Your life is owned by the government now. That's what it means to vote for Bernie Sanders, in my opinion. But for Bernie or Elizabeth,
come on.
For Bernie or Elizabeth Warren, I can't.
Let's get the Bernie. I said the Bernie supporter come on here, man. This is gonna be lit. Everybody be respectful of each other.
I'm nice. I don't bite. I'm very respectful.
It's gonna be good. Argue he's a handful. You gonna see. No, he's not playing Likewise. Likewise worse than him.
You said Likewise is worse?
Yeah, he's worse. So.
He was a gentleman when I spoke to him. You know what it is? Because I'm so lovely and adorable.
Likewise like nice to you. He's not nice. Likewise, you're not nice.
He was respectful to me. You know what? Because I showed him respect. Yep. I asked him a question. I didn't treat him any kind of way. I didn't talk down to him. I talked with him. I had a conversation with him.
Come on.
You know, when he was wrong, I said he was wrong.
Feel the burn. Feel the burn. Feel the burn.
Listen, when you're wrong, I'll say you're wrong, but I'll say it respectfully. I'm not going to say, motherfucker, you're wrong as shit. I don't do that. I'm like, no, this is the facts of the case.
He's getting
what you're saying.
He'll be on here. He's going to say it because he like to be all like, oh.
He's trying to fire himself up. I get it. You got to get yourself fired up to things sometimes, you know.
I like it. You know what? I like a little. I'm controversial. I like a little division. I don't mind it.
I can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
I didn't come to bring peace.
I'm disagreeing with you. Just don't talk at me sideways because I have to. First of all, I don't like that in my own professional life at work, right? Because I was telling you earlier today that I had to be more than just assertive at work because I'm the office manager. But when people weren't listening and they're getting frustrated with me, but I'm like, listen to what I'm telling you to do. No, you cannot have this because this, that, and the third is about to happen. So
here we go, y'all. Here we go. Here comes fella, the Bernie supporter. Here we go. Here we go.
Hello, fella. How are you?
What's coming on?
All right.
How you doing?
All right. Let's go back to the beginning of your conversation. You were saying that Trump is a businessman. That's the only reason he asked for a quick pro.
Well, yeah, because generally that's what happens in business. You want something from me, I give you something in return. You do that in business.
So with that being said, when he working for the government, he's not a citizen no more. So he can't use that
tactic. tactic, right?
So that's why he's getting impeached.
Well, I agree with you on that. I agree.
And then you said the only reason that you justify that because Biden did it. He held the funds up when he was trying to get rid of the prosecutor in the Ukraine.
Right.
He did it because 7 other countries wanted that prosecutor gone because that prosecutor was corrupt.
Did you realize that the prosecutor that he had fired was investigating the CEO?
No. He
you know that the CEO was just arrested for fraud?
No.
Listen, you know that?
Listen, the prosecutor that he had fired he was investigating the company that his son was working at.
Burisma, correct?
Yeah, he was investigating, but he stopped it for 2 years. He put it on like the back burner. He stopped it. That's why he wanted to fire.
The prosecutor didn't stop that investigation. Yes. Joe Biden stopped that.
No. He stopped it.
Joe Biden did, not the
what I'm saying, not the president.
Investigating Burisma was investigating Burisma.
Listen,
Joe Biden,
not the president, not the president of Ukraine. I'm talking about the prosecutor that he got fired. The prosecutor that he got fired put the investigation on hold. And yes, he did. Look it up. Look it up.
The prosecutor was about to talk to Hunter Biden, and that's why Joe had him fired.
That is not true. You need to look it up.
Joe said it. Joe said that in his video. Listen. On that video, we caught him saying, I had the prosecutor fired because he was investigating Burisma. And then he was about to talk to Hunter Biden about the money going from Ukraine into the United States, the DNC specifically. Did you not hear about the CEO?
I know exactly what you're talking about, but what I'm trying to explain to you is that
all of that is connected, fella. Listen. Look at it peacefully. Let me ask you
this though. If everybody
Trump had done quid pro quo, right? I had believed that he had done that because he's used to doing it in business. Okay. But then when you look at transcripts, no quid pro quo, because Ukraine never gave him what he wanted. Then when you hear the bribery charge, he never got what he wanted.
So no. If I attempt to murder somebody, I should go to jail for that. Because I didn't kill that person.
Said in that transcript was he wants.
You just made a statement that you're saying since he didn't get what he wanted, he shouldn't get charged for that crime. What I'm saying to you is, if I go try to kill somebody, I am still going to jail for at least attempting it.
What's the crime if nothing happened?
It's still the attempt.
Ain't nothing happened though.
The attempt of a quid pro quo. How does that work?
No, he attempt
because he wants.
No. Let me rephrase that. When you are working for the United States people, you're the president. You cannot do that. That is one of the Constitution. You cannot violate your rights. I mean,
you do realize that even the Democrats said that it's not quid pro quo. That now it's bribery, right?
No, it's still the same thing. It's still quid pro quo.
In order to impeach the president, a crime has to be committed, and it must reach the federal statute level of bribery. It does not. You're saying that Trump should be impeached because he asked for something that he never really asked for. All he said was, "I want Zelensky to do the right thing."
The reasons for impeachment. You don't have to commit a crime. You don't have
political reasons. What you're saying?
You don't have to commit a crime to be impeached.
That's the way they're making it sound.
No, you don't have to.
That's the way the Democrats are making it sound. They keep saying all the time.
Ukrainian phone call, the quid pro quo. They're saying that is illegal. Is it not illegal?
It is because he tried to do something.
It's against the United States policy, international policy. To do any,
you know that we have a treaty.
No. You can't. No. Listen, you cut me off. You can do a quick pro quo if it's for the United States government. If it's saying if you go to let's say you go to Turkey and say Turkey sends 3,000 troops over to Syria, or I won't give you this funds. That is something for the country. Trump is trying to investigate Biden for political points.
No,
that's a personal thing.
The money that is coming from the money that is there is coming from a slush fund rooted in the Ukraine. Money coming from corrupt and illegal transactions being
Listen,
put into the
listen,
slush
no,
fund and Hunter Biden's
No, I'm
name.
talking about the money Congress passed to give to them for their
They
war
received it,
effort.
and in return, Trump got
Listen.
nothing.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you, when the Congress passed the money, the $300-some million for their war efforts, that was coming from the United
They
States
got it.
citizens. You hear
They
me?
got it.
They did
Ukraine
get it.
got their money.
They
though.
got it after the thing came out, and they got it after everything blew up. They got it after
Ukraine got their money, and in return, Trump got nothing. We have a
you
treaty
ain't
with
listening.
Ukraine that says
You ain't listening.
that
He got
if
scared and
Ukraine-
released their money. What was the
You
holdup
must-
for the release, though? What was the holdup
You
for the
must
release?
rule out corruption. There is a treaty that that says if you
okay.
want money from the United States government, you must root out corruption. That is our
What?
treaty.
Okay.
Period.
Okay. And let's just hypothetically speaking, besides Joe
That's not
Biden,
hypothetical, that is law.
besides Joe Biden family and Joe Biden ties, what other company did he ask to get investigated? If you want to do corruption in Ukraine,
He said, I want you to do what you ran
no,
on.
no. He asked for a specific person to get investigated. What other country, what other entity did he
I
ask
want
for
you to do what
investigation?
you ran on. Look into Burisma. And even
You ain't-
in the transcripts, he doesn't even mention
You
an
ain't-
actual investigation. He simply says, do what you run on.
You ain't listening. You ain't listening. If I say
Yeah.
Reese,
I just have facts.
Reese, if I want you to investigate corruption on your block, but only Chris down the block is the one that's selling dope. You gonna go after Chris on the block, but what you gonna skip over the other drug dealers? No, name the other people he said.
The money
No,
that was
name the other entity.
Burisma.
Let's
The
go.
money
No,
is
that's
not
the entity that's referring to
the
Joe
money
Biden.
is coming from
That's
Burisma.
referring
You
that's
can't-
referring to
Money
Joe
is
Biden.
coming from Burisma, fella. You
That
can't
is
say
referring
that
to
this
Joe Biden.
it's wrong for him to point out where the problem is. That's what's wrong. The money, the illegal money, was coming from Burisma. We just learned that in the last 2 days.
Are you not listening to me? I said besides Burisma.
Fella. Everybody, we got to get to look 1 minute at a time. Everybody, Asia, go ahead. Just say, fella, you come back after 1 minute. Go ahead, Asia.
Burisma, the company in Ukraine that Hunter Biden worked for, put up a slush fund for Hunter Biden. They were laundering money into that account so that way it would have access to the DNC. It had certain people who were working for Obama had access to that account. And all of this was happening during what? The 2016 election campaigning. All of that money has been connected to the DNC. All of that money has been connected to the Obama White House. So there's nothing wrong with the president saying, look into Burisma. There's nothing wrong with that. Hunter Biden is the connection from Burisma to the DNC, to the United States government. You can't say that doesn't matter simply because, oh, well, he asked for it anyway. Nothing happened, but what we did find out, the CEO of Burisma was wrong.
Bring your take on this. You got 1 minute with this. Let's do this.
All right. Burisma is a Ukraine company. Joe Biden's son don't work there no more. Okay. All right. They got a policy with Ukraine to hush out. I mean, to find what's the word I'm looking for? Crimes on corruption in Ukraine. Okay. When Trump talked to him on the phone, he said investigate Burisma and Joe Biden. That's the only two. And that's the only. Listen, that's the only thing he said. Okay, he didn't say nothing else about other companies there that's corrupt, because you know it's a big ass country, so it's other countries that's corrupt. So he specifically asked him to violate the Constitution of the United States to investigate a political party. Okay, second, Joe Biden's son don't work there no more. He's a United States citizen. If Trump found out that he did anything illegal, he should have investigated it here and arrest them here. And you don't need no foreign entity to start an investigation on in another country that they can't do shit about. The United States got something to do with a citizen.
I'll give you that as far as asking a foreign government, investigating an American citizen. I completely agree with you. I don't believe that.
What crime did he commit? No, I'm just asking you. What crime did Joe Biden's son commit? No,
laundering.
okay. Can the Ukraine? No. Let's say he did do it. No, let's say he did do it. I'm agreeing with you. Let's say Joe Biden's son did do it. Why would you ask a president of Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden's son for embezzlement or whatever you want to call it? He can't do shit. They can't do shit to Joe Biden.
Because their country has jurisdiction on that slush fund.
But what I'm trying to explain to you, listen. What I'm trying to explain to you is they can't do nothing to Joe Biden's son over there.
Hey, we got 5 minutes left, y'all.
You asked me a question. You asked me, why do I think it's fair for him to ask, or why is it wrong? Why do I think it's okay for him to ask them to investigate an American citizen? They clearly can't investigate Hunter Biden's, personal life here in the United States, right? But his criminal activity in Ukraine is their jurisdiction. So
yeah, but ain't no expedite. What you think they gonna expedite them over there?
Y'all drink.
No, I want to ask you what effort of justice are you seeking? The Ukraine is already asking funds. Hey, hold on, listen before you cut me off. They already asking funds because they had a war with Russia. Okay, they don't have time to fucking take somebody to court because they did some embezzlement or money laundering. Okay, listen. So the right way Trump should have did it.
Calm down, Phil.
Our United States, the person over our industry to investigate Joe Biden and his person, because you know why he didn't do it that way? Because he wanted the Ukraine president to make a public statement that said he was getting investigated, so it could be.
He never made the statement.
No, it don't matter. That's like saying.
This is what you're saying. You know what's crazy?
I attempted to rape somebody. I'm still going to jail for rape.
Fella, you asked me a question. I'm telling you. Number one, your analogy doesn't matter.
Ask me this one question. If I attempt to do something, if I go out with my gun and just shoot up the whole block and I'm trying to hit one person, what is I'm going to jail for? And I didn't hit nobody.
Well, did you go out there and intend to kill someone?
He intentionally tried to get Hunter Biden for political gain. He tried to get him investigated for political gain. Yes, he did. Okay.
You have to prove criminal intent. Number one, which you can't prove. You can't prove criminal intent going based off the transcript. That's number one. But let me talk to you plainly.
The transcripts that Trump released, the transcript. Listen, the transcript Trump released.
Hey, hold on, everybody. I won't cut Mike's off.
Do you agree with that?
Everybody,
do you agree with that?
Stop. You asked several questions. Let me answer just one of them.
All right, go ahead.
So the first question you had asked me is, how is it okay for Ukraine to investigate an American citizen? If an American citizen commits a crime in Ukraine, Ukraine has jurisdiction to investigate said crime, especially when the crime that they're committing is involving one of their biggest businesses. Then you ask me, well, why only ask about this firm when there's a whole bunch of other companies in Ukraine? Why? Because Burisma is directly connected to the meddling that happened during the 2016 election campaign. We know this simply because of what's come out today as far as the revelations and the investigation into Burisma and the CEO of Burisma. Hunter Biden.
Yeah, run out of time.
Hold on, let me get one more before we run out of time.
I let you talk. Now I'm going to.
He want to cut me off. Let me answer this last question, and then I'm done. How long? Listen, how long did they know about this? How long did they know about this?
Stop.
No.
United States government.
How long did they know about it?
Just come out with, obviously, the IG report's about to come out soon, but Lindsey Graham had just said that the Burisma firm was laundering money into this slush fund, that the DNC had their hands in, that the Obama White House had their hands in. All of that money is connected to the 2016 election meddling that all these liberals and Democrats were complaining that Russia was behind. Not to the Russian influence, but let's call a spade here. The corruption starts at Burisma. CEO was just arrested. We just found out about the slush fund. We just found out who had access to said slush fund. All of this plays a role in what you're speaking about. So if I am the president and I find out that this one company in Ukraine that has an American citizen working for it, that is connected to a political party against me, that has been working against me for 3.5 years, you damn well I'm going to ask for them to investigate. Not into Biden, though, into the corruption that president said he was going to look at anyway. All Trump said was, do what you promised you would do. Do what you said you would run on. You ran on anti-corruption. I expect you to keep your word. If you do, you get the money. He's keeping his word because clearly the CEO was arrested and charged with corruption and money laundering. And it came out that Hunter Biden's name is all over that account. The DNC, all over that account. We just watched Chris Cuomo kind of walk back everything as far as Russiagate is concerned, because everything goes back to the DNC, to the Obama White House. Don't get mad at the president for telling another president, do what you promised you would do. There's nothing wrong with that. And that fella answers all of our questions.
You don't see it because you like to talk over people.
You talked over me for a very long time.
Okay, no, I'm
I answered question after question.
You didn't answer nothing. You didn't answer nothing.
I answered.
You
That's
didn't
the
answer
answer.
everybody.
that I asked you to. I asked
You
you
asked
a
me all
question.
those questions. I answered all of them.
You didn't answer. What other countries? I mean, what other company did he ask over the phone to investigate?
No other companies are connected to the DNC other than Burisma.
The only reason he asked about the DNC is because his election season is coming up. I'm trying to get you to understand. He put 2 and 2 together and got 4. He wanted political. He wanted Joe Biden in the news as being under investigation. That's why he asked me
trying to undermine the
before the election to announce that he was investigating Hillary. He wanted.
Your analogy of 2 plus 2 equals 4.
Trying to get somebody investigated.
That's your analogy. Your analogy just admits that the DNC had something to do with trying to undermine the 20.
Nothing about the DNC. Don't put words in my mouth. I said Trump asked Comey to publicly announce that he was investigating Hillary. Okay, he didn't want to do that. No, listen.
Which investigation are we talking about?
I give you a chance to rebuttal. There's no question. I'm just giving a statement.
Which investigation are we talking about now? We're talking about the Hillary Clinton investigation now?
Before Trump became president, he asked the FBI director to publicly announce that he was investigating Hillary Clinton. Okay, now he got a track record of doing the same thing. Now he got please.
Comey or Trump?
Trump got a track record. Listen, of asking people to make public statements to investigate his political rival. Okay, now if you can't see a connection in that, that's you. That's your mistake. Okay, listen.
All right, y'all.
Trump. Hold on, Reese. Give me 30 more seconds, Reese. Second. You can ask it if you want. How long did President Trump in the United States of the government knew about Burisma before he asked the Ukraine president to investigate?
How long did
the United States of any of the FBI, the CIA, how long did they know about this corruption over there before Trump asked him to investigate?
Well, to make this short, Mo, number one, everyone knows that Ukraine is filled with corrupt cabal. We all know that. That's number one. And number two, we know that he sent Attorney General Barr and Durham to Europe to figure out where the corruption was coming from in the first place. So probably back in June, July, he found out about the connection to Ukraine.
What year?
Of 2019. That's when he sent AG Barr to Europe to find out how Ukraine played a role in corruption. Because you got to remember, all of this is connected. The Russian, all of that
is back in Obama. They didn't know none of this back in 17 or 18.
What do you mean? Attorney General Barr just investigated the Russian.
What I'm asking you is, they didn't know none of this information about nothing in 2018.
Y'all.
Attorney, later, Mo. Later.
No, stay on. I want.
Oh, gotcha.
Let's have a talk. No, stay on.
Gotcha.
thank you everybody for coming on there, this thick skin only, and I appreciate all y'all. And Asia will be back on my panel. Thank you, fella, for coming on here. Much love to y'all. Peace. Much love to y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this music and say much love to y'all. So I'm gone. Thank you. Come on in, Asia.
Thank you.
All y'all.
All right, Reese.